Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Hi, Super. Hello. So nice to see you on here. How are you? Hope you're good. Everyone, please hit that like button as you guys come in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, hello. Hi, Bajan. Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Yes, guys, please hit that like button. I have so much energy for y'all tonight. So please hit that like button. Don't let me have to beg for the likes today, honey. Please and thank you. So we have quite a bit to talk about today. Today, I'm just drinking water because I feel like I have been having a little bit of sugar lately. So I need to like take it super slow and I need to be on my best behavior when it comes to sugar. So I will just be having some water during the stream. Kimmy was on Carlos King, and I want to talk about her perception of the fight that happened between her and Nell. As you guys know, over here we were calling out Kimmy because we felt like it didn't we just didn't understand why Kimmy seemed to have so much energy and vim for Miss Nell. And so this time around, she is basically giving us the tea. She is going to be letting us know exactly what happened from her perspective. To be honest, like it's not like we can hear from, at least on this one, we don't get to hear from Nell, so we don't know what is going to happen with that. But from Kimmy's perspective, it sounds like Kimmy believes that Miss Nell deserved it. So we will get into that a little bit more. Also, interestingly enough, Giselle and Robin seem to be in a legal battle. So we will be talking about that and sort of perspective on that. Um, whilst Kimmy was at Carlos King, she did also talk about. Let me just make sure I have the timestamp really quickly. Okay, I do have the timestamp for that. She did talk about some of you, I don't know if you guys all watch Belle Collective, but during the Belle Collective reunion, you would see that Marie and um her ex-husband Cedric, who she's now getting back together with, they basically talked, right? So and at the reunion, the guy had some stuff to say about women submitting and all of that. So Kimmy and Carlos and Dustin will be giving their opinions about that. So maybe we can watch that and talk about that as well. We do have some other things to talk about with Real Housewives of Potomac as well. So we will be getting into that and some Married to Medicine. All I ask from you guys, like I said, is please hit that like button. Let's not be stingy with the likes. Um and yeah, let's get into it. There is a clip that resurfaced of Kimmy hollering at Wanda. Oh, really? Was she shouting as well? Since she has such a huge thing about, oh, I don't want anybody to raise their voice at me. I don't like being shouted at. Was she shouting at Wanda? Because I think that's a very important thing to know. So, Super, let me know if she was shouting at Wanda. Um, Oh, so you don't watch Bell Collective? You're going to have to watch it, Bell Collective. Yes, absolutely. I think interestingly enough, I wish that Bell Collective will have more episodes because I actually enjoy Bell Collective more than I enjoy Love and Marriage Huntsville. And so I feel like if you guys are all up for it, maybe Bell Collective next season we can actually do more reviews and actually actively do reviews on Bell Collective if you guys will watch it. So that's what I think. But of course, you guys have to watch it for that to even be a thing. Okay, so the only person Kimmy don't shout at is Mr. Potato Head. That is so funny because usually when you have a little bit of a temper and you're always raising your voice at everyone, or you're able to raise your voice at everyone, it's quite surprising that you don't raise your voice at your man, which gives me the impression that you know how to temper your voice. You know how to make sure that you're not having to go at people. So the fact that you keep having a go at everyone, or let me not say everyone, because technically Kimmy does not get into a lot of verbal altercations with people, but I would say this time around it was definitely given a lot of energy for Nell that I just did not understand where that was coming from. Exactly, saying it triggers that Kimmy speaks with forked tongue. Yes, absolutely. I feel like we've seen her hold her own when it comes to speaking. I feel like there's also been so many incidents in the past where, like, even with there've been someone posted something in the comments, right? And the person was saying that in the like, the person was saying that in the past when Martell would be raising his voice at Melody, why didn't Kimmy say, "Oh no, don't do that"? Instead, Kimmy was still saying that he's a nice guy. And so when you think about it like that, it puts things in perspective. Do you really hate people raising their voice? Or is this just you, is this just you now trying to find an excuse because you know that you overreacted and everybody's out here looking at you like, what have you done? And so that those are the questions that I have personally, because yeah, that's why people were saying on Insta, give BC more episodes. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Like, I feel like the quality of Belle Collective is so good compared to the nonsense of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, I'm tired of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If they can give us Belle Collective, more episodes of Belle Collective, I would be happy. Like, when I say you actually get to know the girls a little bit more, also they have a lot of events as well, which helps because it's like when the cast are constantly hanging out, there is more there's more to talk about. Something is bound to happen at these cast events. And so that's why I just feel like Bell Collective definitely needs to tap into that and give us more episodes. Instead of wasting all of that energy on Love and Marriage Huntsville, let's put that energy into Bell Collective, in my opinion. I do think also it's quite interesting that when I was listening to Carlos, Carlos was basically saying that there's going to be a lot more breaks. So imagine the amount of breaks that Love and Marriage Huntsville has been on recently. Imagine that. Carlos is basically giving us some heads up that there's going to be even more breaks. And I'm just like, maybe they really are trying to phase it out because I don't understand why there's so many breaks. It's like, what exactly is the reason for so many breaks? Like, I understand, okay, 2 breaks, sure, or 1 break, right? 1 break, you start the first season, then end the season mid-season, and then come back, and that's it. But it feels like there's so many breaks, and it's almost like so random as well. You don't even know why they're happening. The next thing is like just random. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Super says Kimmy would never holler at Martell either. Absolutely. I feel like Kimmy definitely knows who to holler at. I think that she would never holler at Martell. She would never holler at what's her husband's name? Not Marceau. Maurice. So many M's. She's never going to holler at Maurice because she knows Maurice is probably going to like lose his ish and you know talking out the side of his neck. And so I feel like she definitely knows that she has to contain him. This is just my personal opinion. I feel like she probably thinks she has to contain him because every time she's speaking to him, even though you can tell from her tone that she is upset, she tries to still keep her voice low. So the volume is low, but you can tell from the tone and intensity that she is upset, right? And so I think that she probably knows it's not going to fly with Maurice. So she's like, yeah, nah. Guys, please hit that like button. Again, please, I do not want to beg for likes tonight. Please just hit that like button as you come in. Please and thank you. Super says Kimmy is a male identified pick me chick. Absolutely. I think that for me, when I noticed she was a pick me, was when she was talking about Martell being a nice guy, when she was talking about she didn't want to call the girl a side chick. Oh, she has a name. You had so much empathy for the side chick, but not the wife. Those are the things that I would say got me a little bit like, she's a pick me. She's a pick me, and probably also has experience of being in that position because you have way too much empathy for the bird. So yeah, excuse me, I will say that. Um, yeah, I would say the other thing I noticed is how she's always talking about how amazing Martell is, and I'm like, Martell has shown so many crazy things. He's shown us he's aggressive, the way he be walking up to women, all that kind of stuff. But yet she was always labeling him as Mr. Nice Guy. And so when she then says that now she doesn't like people screaming or raising their voice at her, it's like that's a bit of a reach because you didn't seem to mind it in the past when people were raising their voices around you. Even you were raising your voice to Nell in that situation as well. So yeah, Kimmy definitely is that. And also when you see and listen to a lot of the things that she says, you can tell that she's definitely very, very pro men and very anti women, in my opinion. Bajan says the thing is in Love and Maritime, so apart from No Neck Nail, who actually has a business. Not No Neck Nail. I've never looked at her neck. And now Bajan, I will never be able to look at her without looking at her neck. Like but yeah, that is true. Nail has a daycare business, at least we know that. The rest we don't actually know what they do. I think Kimmy talks about doing real estate, but I don't know. I've never seen enough for me to really think about her in real estate, and I guess Tisha as well. So yeah. But guys, thank you so much for those who have just joined in. We're currently just talking about Nell, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Kimmy, and then we will be playing some clips in a moment. But yeah, we're just talking about that. Please hit that like button as you come in. Don't be stingy with the likes. Thank you. Tommy thinks, I don't think they are confident in the show anymore. I completely agree. I think they are definitely moving like people who are not confident in the show. They're definitely looking at like people who think the show will get cancelled, or the show is in the process of being cancelled. And so it's no longer a priority for them. I feel like the show has been deprioritized. And so them putting up or putting out or having all these just putting out episodes without all these breaks, I don't know. Maybe they don't have no budget for it. I do not know what is going on with all the breaks. But yeah, I do think that they're no longer confident in the show. And I don't blame them because to be honest, I don't think the ratings are doing what the ratings need to be doing. I don't think there is a lot of interest there anymore. Um, a lot of the YouTubers are not really covering it anymore. The audience is slowly weaning off Love and Marriage Huntsville, if I'm being completely honest. I know a lot of times when I still talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, it brings people in, but we're also able to talk about a lot of other topics as well. There is one thing, maybe I'll talk about that later on. All them breaks and them unnecessary three-part reunions make it make sense. Absolutely. I feel like if they cut out all those breaks and reduce the number of episodes, I think people would appreciate it more. And if they provided quality over quantity, people would appreciate it more instead of all that long episodes where you're just like, okay, this is just dragging on. And then you can reduce everything to like a good 30 minutes. And so it's like people don't need all them breaks. Just reduce the whole show to, I don't know, a few episodes. Cut out the break completely. Don't give us three parts reunion. One part reunion is enough. There really isn't enough that is happening on the show for it to require a three-part reunion. That's what I think. So I really hope that on working on other shows that can definitely take the place of Love and Marriage Huntsville because at the moment it definitely is not doing what it needs to do. Hey Braylon. Hi. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you as well. Now, guys, I probably should have mentioned that. Thanks, Braylon, for keeping me straight. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you. You guys know over here we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't even have Thanksgiving. So it didn't even cross my mind. But yeah, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. What's everyone's plans for Thanksgiving? Because I know some of y'all live in the US. Most of you live in the US. So what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Put it in the chat. Maybe I can live vicariously through you guys, since I am not going to be since I'm not going to be spending or celebrating Thanksgiving. Sorry, I got distracted by my own comments. I don't think they're really getting breaks. Owen is not approving 30 episodes for Love and Marriage Huntsville, and they only got 16. Oh, plot twist. So you think that they're not getting breaks, and it's just that Owen is not approving them. So do you think that now, instead of 30 episodes, we're going to get 15 or 16? The thing is, I don't even know how many episodes we've had. Like, we love marathons for I don't even bother about like figuring out what episode we're on, because I always think we love marathons for I just go with whatever comes out. I don't pay attention to whether there's a break or whatever. If I go on the platform that I usually check to watch it and it's not there, I'm like, okay, I guess they're on a break. And that's how I usually find out about breaks. So I can only imagine how regular people who aren't like content creators actually do find out about breaks. Like, how do they actually find out about breaks? Do they find out like the rest of us when they keep changing the channel and nothing comes up for Love and Marriage Huntsville? Or what? They need to do better with that, with the whole thing about like announcing and letting people know. So yeah. Okay, what happened to Potato Head and Legs? Hips. This is the thing. I can never read legs and hips and body, because every time all I think about is breast is always legs and hips and body yada yada. Like, every time I see legs and hips, the next thing I'm singing that Candy song about legs and hips and body. But anyway, what happened to Potato Head and Legs, Hips, and Thighs mother? Didn't they buy her a house a few seasons back? Ooh. Interesting, did they? I completely forgot. Hmm. Okay, Super said, did I discuss Destiny yesterday? I don't think I went live yesterday, but I think on the day before, so I think Monday. Sorry, the days are all the same to me now. On Monday, yes, I did talk about Destiny, and I talked about like Destiny and like the show and her dating and all of that. So yeah, but I guess we'll get a little bit of time to like maybe brush up on it a little bit when we start talking about Carlos Kings and everybody's perspective on the whole submission business. Actually, I don't think I have a timestamp for the Destiny, for the part about Destiny dating, but maybe I can find it if you guys are interested in that. Or is there anything else that's happened to Destiny outside of her dating shenanigans? Braylon said, I bet if they went to BravoCon, they would be regular people. Yep. Regular people, boring people. Everybody would just be like, who are these people? No star quality, starless. Literally, starless is what it's absolutely given. Tommy says, but honestly, the show is actually so boring. Absolutely. It's extremely boring. I don't really get like low key, I'm like, don't they have some sort of like a quality check where somebody is watching it and saying, no, no, this ain't it, guys. We need to do better. Like, they really need to do something about it. It is dry. It is so boring. But I guess what I will say is, for like people listening, it's funny because I post Love and Married Huntsville, people complain about me posting Love and Married Huntsville. But every time I post stuff about like Real Housewives of other things, where's the views? Where's the likes? And I'm like, what's going on, y'all? You'll complain if I do Love and Married Huntsville, but when I post Real Housewives of Potomac stuff, you guys don't be watching it. It's like, what? Help me. Help me help the channel at this point. But anyway, Tommy says, guys, let's get to 20 likes. We only have 12 likes. Guys, please. Unless you all want me to be singing, don't be stingy with the likes. Don't be stingy with the likes. Don't be stingy with the likes. Okay? But yeah. Yeah, Bajan is also telling you happy Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful time, guys. Probably why they're contemplating bringing Ariane on. Yep, I definitely feel like it's given that they want to bring her on by any means necessary. And will that happen? I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of weeks or maybe months. Maybe after this season, if this season doesn't work well, they may feel like they have to shock everybody and like bring, do something up. So yeah. Not Peasant and her years old braces. One day I need someone to help her remove the braces. like send her over there to the doctors. I'm not saying be violent, honey, no, but send her over there to the dentist, get them to remove the braces. Somebody needs to pay for it. I would have thought that she would have removed it now. It's been so many years. Super said what was the number of the past episode. I'm glad Bajan was there to respond because I had no idea. You see, Tommy keeps me straight. Tommy says we had a video on Destiny that went live yesterday too. Thanks, Tommy. You see, I forgot completely. This is why y'all can't rely on what I'm saying. Like, I completely forgot. But yes, there was a video that went live on Destiny yesterday. So please, guys, if you guys haven't watched that after this live, please go back on the channel and watch that. I think we also put out Potomac as well. Even if you're not interested in Potomac, if you just go over to that video and like just like and hype the video, it would be helpful because I think I'm trying to really get into the algorithm for other things other than Love and Married Huntsville. It feels like Love and Married Huntsville, I'm all there in the algorithm. But when it comes to other things like Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm not in there yet. So please, if you are able to hype the video, go over, watch my Potomac stuff and hype it, please. Thank you. Okay, so Tommy is saying we only have 13 likes. Please hit that like button as you join in. Let's get to 20 likes. So please, let's not be stingy. Hit that like button as you come in. So, no, just the fact that not one man spoke up to defend her honor when we wanted to know if she was easy. Oh, yes, we talked about it. Absolutely. That's what we talked about. We talked about that. And I was very, very disappointed in the way the men were just hee ha ha and laughing about it. And I was disappointed, but I wasn't shocked. Like these Love and Married Huntsville people. We know what they're on, we know what they're about. So I definitely was not shocked that nobody said anything. But it was just crazy how this man was saying, like, she has one night, or, people have one. I don't know how, I can't remember how he said it, but he said something about having one night to prove themselves. I'm like, are you okay, sir? How old are you? Like, they were moving around, like, how like little teenagers would be like gathering around talking about like their newest crush or the girl that they are now dating and stuff. Very embarrassed. And you should see the way Martell was so happy, was laughing, pushing his head back and kicking and laughing. I was like, dude, that's supposedly meant to be your friend and sister. What a joke. Braylene said, people are here because they want to be here. Bravo has more content. Keep doing what you're doing. Real Housewives of Potomac is hotter than Love and Married Huntsville. Thank you so much, Braylene. I really appreciate it. I think like sometimes you just get to a point where you're like, oh, I put out really good content, and it can get a little bit disappointing if you feel like you're not getting as much engagement as your content should. But that's the thing. Like, I just have I guess I'm never going to be one of those people that will be out here coming out over here to like curse people out and stuff. Not saying, there's anything wrong. If that's what you want to do, that's your style. But I have a different style. So I also understand, like, that's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. Wasn't our introduction a picture on a hoodie? Oh, yeah, it was. All she got was a picture on a hoodie, a picture underneath a hoodie, because he was actually wearing a hoodie to cover it up until somehow I think somebody told him to remove the zip or something like that. So I suspect that if someone didn't say that, maybe we wouldn't have even seen the hoodie or we wouldn't have seen the t-shirt to begin with. So yeah. But I guess that's their way of prepping us. They're trying to prime us to experience. They're trying to prime us to experience that, to be completely honest. You guys need to watch Potomac. Is such a great show. I completely agree. I am definitely enjoying Potomac. And guys, please hit that like button. Hit that like button, because y'all had Tommy texting me saying people are not hitting the like button. Guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button, honestly. Please. Thank you. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.